guys, this is Jesse Adams. Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel, Looking for Hire. As many of you know, I'm a full-time broker. My own aircraft brokerage is Mason Amelia, and I'm here with you for a special treat. I'm with my buddy and client, Dr. Phil Harper. Hey, Phil.
Hey, how's it going?
Going great, man. So you know the drill. I came out here to chase the sunrise with you.
Right.
I wanted to picture 603 Alpha Papa, your SF50 Vision Jet, on a little flight. And I want to take everyone along because I'm mainly a turboprop guy, right?
Right.
I have a lot of time in the Meridians and the TBM. You actually have a similar journey from a Cessna to a Piper Mirage. You were destined to join the ranks. We actually met in a type group, a similar form.
Right.
But you ended up getting a Vision Jet. I think there's something special about your journey.
I wanted pressurized. I wanted over 300 knots. I wanted to be able to fly into icing conditions. For my wife, it was really about the parachute. It was all about safety.
It's actually interesting. You touched on a couple things. So for the last 7 or 8 years, I've taught my family, they've grown up flying in my SR-22. They understand that a single engine plane inherently isn't as safe as a jet, right? Or as an airliner. So I told them it's a modern airplane. It has a parachute. As good proficient pilots, we know that's not our only option.
Right.
But that is a great tool in our toolkit to have. This is a single turbine engine, but you have an extra thing in your toolkit.
Absolutely. Like you said, the best thing is having that extra redundancy. Everything we do in the flight world is redundancies, right?
Right.
We know if our engine goes out, we can land it. We can go to high key, low key, and just land it.
Right.
But what happens if you have a heart attack and your wife does not know how to land the plane?
Right.
That's really where the peace of mind comes.
So I think the Vision Jet, it's really special. It does something no other plane can do. And I think it's going to get the trust and confidence from your passengers. Tanner shooting the video, he had to tell his family he's going up in a small plane. We gave him a couple Cirrus marketing materials, and all of a sudden his wife and kids wanted to be along with it too. The other thing you said, Phil, is you talk about 300 knots. This is G1. This is 2018.
Yeah.
You're in the club. You crack 300 knots.
Oh, absolutely. And in the winter, I've usually true airspeed around 320 actually in this plane.
Really? So a lot of my currency is in the TBM 850, and the TBM 850, I will always crack 300 knots, depending on ISO, right? It's all temperature dependent, but getting 300 is a pretty good day.
That's
sometimes
huge.
I could get 305, sometimes 310 in Northern California.
Right.
I think I got 315. So yeah, I've had over 317 in a Vision Jet, and this G1, you've done the same. You said 320.
320 in the winter all the time. Now in the summer, it'll be like 295, 305, somewhere in that range.
I know it's been said too many times, but the Vision Jet, you have these expansive windows. The vision out of the Vision Jet is second to none.
Oh, it's huge.
It's incredible. And the other thing it does really well is passenger experience. The experience of this plane, it is literally 5 feet wide. It feels like an SUV.
And if you're like a 6'5" guy.
Yeah, we're both right under 6 foot.
Yeah, I'm right at 6 feet.
Yeah.
And my cousin, who's type rated in this, he's 6'2" and 230 pounds. He couldn't fly the Mirage. He felt like a fat guy in a little coat. He just couldn't do it. And so when we bought this, he could slide that seat back, and the head space, he had over a foot, and he was super comfortable in the Vision Jet.
The Vision Jet, I totally buy now and understand why it is a personal jet. Your family, they're not sitting behind a bulkhead like in a Pilatus or even a TBM that's often professionally flown. This experience, your family, it's kind of like they're right there with you, right? It's like when you're driving on a road trip, your family's in the SUV and they're arguing over the radio. That's basically the experience here. Yeah. The cockpit is kind of wrapped around by the cabin a little wider in the midsection. You have a couple auxiliary seats in the back. I mean, they are up there with you. They're part of the experience. Without further ado, Phil, I say we push this out.
Let's do it.
And we go on a little flight.
Okay, I'm excited.
Looking forward to it, brother. Hopefully you'll let me grab the comms.
Yeah.
We'll see, or I might just sit back and look out of these expansive windows.
Let's do it.
And before we get out of here, again, this plane is going to be under brokerage exclusively at my company, Mason Amelia. And this is a 2018 SF50 G1 Elite. That means it has every available US domestic package. This thing is fully loaded. I don't know if you could see it in this lighting, but this actually has the UV treated gold windshield and windows. This was a very expensive option from Cirrus. Not many of them have that. The G1, they are known to have a little discrepancy in the paint. So in the last year, this year actually, 2023, living in the past, 2023, this went and it had a complete factory new paint job. So 603 Alpha Papa looks absolutely stunning on the outside, very clean on the inside.
Through their JetStream program, they take care of the brakes, they take care of anything, any AOG problems, even a battery, whatever it is, it's all covered. And even having tiny little cracks in the cosmetic paint, they're like, yeah, we'll repaint the whole thing.
They took care of that. And to speak on JetStream, so we're going to come to market just under $2 million. This is inclusive of a recharge of approximately $85,000 in value for JetStream. So Phil here, he's actually going to put 1 year and 150 hours on JetStream. So when you buy or finance this plane, you have peace of mind that all your flying is covered for the next year. All right, well, thanks for joining, guys. Let's go fly. Let's get out of here. Phil's been flying this plane for several years. He's gone through several simulator recurrents, flown around the country with his family, and it's really about proficiency. And Phil starts it right up from his flow and then verifies with the checklist. So this guy literally push button started this plane, just like a luxury automobile. So we got Phil here, our videographer Tanner in the back, and we're going to take you on board for this Vision Jet. Now, most of my time is at the airlines in bigger twin jets or in single engine turboprops. So I think on this flight, it's going to be really cool that we take you on the world of the Cirrus personal jet, and I give you some of the stark differences. I'm really excited to be here, Phil. You're a PIC. Maybe I'll back you up and you'll let me work some of the radios.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Man, there's something about that fan, the way it spools up, right?
Oh, I know. I'm going to miss it.
Yeah, so me doing the turboprops, right, the TBM, I'll tell you, I have a thesis, or maybe I should say I have a hypothesis, guys, with today's flight. I think the TBM, the one that I have most of my currency in, is, I think a TBM is the pilot's plane, right? You could do a lot of things better than any other plane in a TBM or say a Pilatus. My hypothesis is the Vision Jet. This is the pilot's wife's plane. If I had $2 million to spend on a jet right now, or an aircraft, I think I'd have some serious explaining to do if I didn't buy a Vision Jet.
Oh, 100%. My wife loves this plane. It's so comfortable. The kids love it. In fact, every time we fly, they're like, just shut me up.
41 Hotel Charlie, out of Falls Ground, stand by.
They don't want to hear us talk.
Yeah.
They just want to watch the movie back there. And
yeah. That's a 20-inch or 22-inch flip down?
22-inch flip down, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So again, right, my perspective is mainly from the turboprop owner flowing market. And when you're flying, you have beta, you know, the plane definitely has some, toughness to it. When we're taxiing around in this, I mean, this thing's moving. You hear that turbine spool up. And I'm really anxious. You know, I'm eager to see how this plane performs.
Tower 81 is 5 miles straight in, runway 35.
So, Phil, when you take off, I'm going to be really focused on the workload management, right? This is a single pilot airplane. And when I fly the TBM, I'm so impressed by how modern a G1000 cockpit is. You're in the G3000. I actually had a buddy of mine, Mark Cohen, a Vision Jet pilot, say, oh, that's cool, good climb, feet per minute, but it's kind of manual. You're doing a lot. And I almost got offended. I said, what do you mean I'm doing a lot? It's a G1000 TBM. But I have a
these are super easy.
Actually, a Charlie Golf.
Super, super easy.
Vision Jet 3 Alpha Papa, confirm your VFR eastbound.
Affirmative. VFR eastbound, 3 Alpha Papa.
Vision Jet 603 Alpha Papa, departure to the east is approved. Report exiting class Delta. Runway 3, clear for takeoff.
Cleared runway 3, and we'll report leaving Delta, 3 Alpha Papa.
Runway 3, taxi via...
Hey, airspeed's alive. 60 knot cross check. 70. 80, 90, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Above 115, flaps.
You know, Idaho Falls, this is probably the time of year to see it. We just beat the weather by a week. It's going to get a dusting of snow next weekend.
Trailing 017,
It's just
leaving
beautiful
class
out
Delta.
here. Yeah, so the airport elevation is what, about 5,000 feet? Idaho
40,
Falls?
47.
47, 4,700 feet.
So those are the Grand Tetons. I don't know if you can see those peaks over there.
Oh, yeah.
That's the other side of that's Jackson Hole.
Ready to go.
Redback 481 Hotel Charlie. Diamond 894 Sierra Alpha, Idaho Falls Tower. Just confirm your position, please.
All right, so here we are, just in our VFR climb. Out to the east, the Grand Tetons. Is that how you say the Grand Tetons?
Yeah, Grand Tetons.
All right, an eastbound climb. We're going to level off at 13.5. And yeah, we were maintaining, we're nowhere near VUI, but we were maintaining just a cruise climb, doing about 15 to 1,700 feet a minute. And the performance is all relative to ISA. And this G3000 flight deck, they call it the Perspective Touch Plus from Garmin, is absolutely awesome. So there's so much automation here. It really ensures the best single pilot IFR workload management situation. So you can really focus on flying the plane and managing the automation to help you achieve safe flight for you and your passengers.
Right now we're doing 254 ground speed.
Yeah, if we were going somewhere eastbound, man, if we were going to Denver, this would be the day to do it, right?
Oh yeah.
Sure, it's probably 80 knots if we climb a little higher. Yeah, you know, I feel like a jet like this, it's like a magic carpet ride, or frankly, I grew up, the over 40 crowd, I'm sure you watched the Jetsons and the Flintstones. I feel like this is the Jetsons car, it really is.
Oh yeah.
It sounds cliche, but they truly built it from the inside out. I mean, this plane, it is not the most fuel efficient. It's not the fastest, but one thing that the Vision Jet, the G1 or G2, any generation does, the Vision Jet, I think it does comfort the best.
Oh, 100%.
Comfort and passenger experience is second to none. This plane is literally 5 feet wide. This is probably the size of my wife Melissa's SUV.
Yeah,
I mean, this is 5 feet wide, probably about 10 feet deep. It's a great cabin. It really is. Okay, Phil, so what I'm going to do, I think me and you, we could just talk about the jet. Again, I've been mostly doing TBMs and single-engine turboprops, so I guess I'm going to have some questions. Some of them might be a little silly. I'll ask you some questions about it, and then I might want to dig into your background a little bit, too, because I think you have a pretty interesting journey in flying.
Absolutely.
And what you've done around your work. All right, so how long have you had this plane?
3 years.
Okay. And you're at Idaho Falls, 9,000 foot runway, about 5,000 foot field elevation. What kind of runways, let's just say around sea level, what length of runway are you comfortable landing and taking off from in this plane? Moderately loaded?
I'd say moderately loaded 4,000 would be my absolute minimum for me.
Okay. And we are down low. We're not pushing it on speed.
Even though we're doing 276 knots true.
Wow, 276. Hey, actually, I don't know how the Vision Jet is, but can you pull this back to fuel? I feel bad because we're smoking, man. Right? We're really
doing 56 gallons an hour.
Okay, so we're doing 56 gallons an hour, kind of trolling around here, 240 knots at 13,000 feet. One thing that's interesting too, I know from my years flying a jet in the turboprops, being this low at 13,000 feet, we were doing 230 or 240 indicated, and that's going to make the ambient noise in the cockpit much louder.
Right.
What's your indicated airspeed when you're upstairs at flight level 280?
At that point, we're in the Mach level, so it's 0.53 is the max, and I usually cruise around 0.51, 0.52.
Do you know what true airspeed is around there?
Yeah, it's 310 knots.
310 knots. So to be clear, the Vision Jet, I've said before, every plane has their value add. The Pilatus has the range and utility. The TBM has the speed. The Vision Jet, what do you think it does better than any other plane?
It is absolutely one of the easiest planes to fly. It's one of the most comfortable. It's super safe. It's got built-in redundancies with the parachute and with some of these other ones that have safe return. It definitely gives peace of mind to the passengers, and you get there in a timely manner, and you look good doing it when you arrive.
It's cool, man. It's a turbine. So what you said that resonated with me, and it was along my thinking as well, is, man, the Vision Jet just kills it on comfort.
Oh, yeah.
Comfort and workload management and experience. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, I went from a 182 to a Mirage and then to a Vision Jet, and I felt super comfortable flying this. And Cirrus does a really good job at training you. It's a 14-day type rating, and they put you through all the rigors, and by the time you're done, I mean, you feel like you are a better pilot. They test you at ATP standards. So you're having to
it's an actual check ride.
Oh, yeah,
right?
It's an actual check ride. It's an actual type rating.
Phil is about a 1,000-hour pilot. I met Phil through social media. I personally say if you're over 40, whether you admit it or not, you might play on social media a little bit in some of the forums. But I think we connected because Phil has a background. He mentioned a 182, but he also has a background Piper. So he had a pressurized Piper Mirage. That was an awesome step-up plane from his Cessna, and he had the Mirage. And him and I think we bonded talking about Piper Meridians, and TBM 850s, and planes that really have, I'll say it, they have some balls, right? They have some toughness.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The TBM, I have a lot of my currency in the TBM 850. It's gonna, it's gonna exceed the Vision Jet usually on, range, on takeoff performance, on climb. But at the end of the day, the thing with the TBM, it's all dependent on ISA, relation to international standard temperature. It is cracking 300 knots. Every time I fly the TBM 850, I crack 300 knots. Sometimes I'm at 298 and I push it and I get 303. Sometimes I get 310 or 312 depending on the temperatures. But you said we're in the 300 knot club in this plane, right?
Oh, 100%. I'm always flying at least over 300 knots in this plane. Now, if it's really, really hot, I might be at 290, 295.
Yeah, but for all intents and purposes, I mean, the TBM 850, guys, that's a 300 knot airplane. That's the only thing that I would promise. We'll see 300 knots in the TBM 850. Again, sometimes a little more. This is a 300 knot airplane. It's a fast airplane. Piper Meridians, 255, 265, but make no mistake, the Vision Jet, this is a G1 of 2018. It's a 300 knot airplane. And back to your story, so you went from the Cessna, you went into the Mirage, the pressurized Mirage. You were already positioned, your buddies, some of our mutual connections, they have Meridians, they have Pilatuses, they have TBMs, and you were kind of destined to go into a turboprop as well, right? Have the 2 or 3 day insurance checkout and be going. And let's face it, the Cirrus Life, the Kool-Aid, whatever you want to call it, the marketing of the comfort of the parachute, that wasn't ingrained with you as a new pilot.
No.
You crossed over. Why did you not follow the road of your peers and go from a Piper Mirage to a TBM? Why did you come to the Cirrus world?
To me, it was basically my wife. She wanted something that was a little more safe in her mind, even though we know all the planes are safe. But just in a wife's mind, if something were to happen to me and she could pull the chute, and I showed her how to do a few of those things, and that gave her peace of mind.
Right. You have children as well.
And I've got little kids.
You're a little older than mine, right?
Yep. And I had friends and family that I knew that had died in a Pilatus, and so it was kind of like recent news at the time when we were buying this, and so she really wanted reassurance that we were going to be a lot safer.
Yeah, and I'll say this, you know, when I was younger, you know, I rode motorcycles, and who knows, maybe I'll get a Harley one day. We all do things that are selfish. We all do things we don't have to do. We don't have to fly private aircraft, but if you're going to do it, if you're going to say, hey, honey, I'm going to buy a jet, I'm going to buy a plane, do something for the family, right?
Right.
Whether we believe as proficient pilots we need a parachute or not, isn't it something to have just another tool in your tool bag? I think it absolutely is. And with that, I have spent, so your family grew up flying the Cessna and then the Mirage. My family grew up flying the Cirrus SR-22, and we had a parachute. I taught her I'm not going to fly a single engine piston unless it has a parachute or it's a modern aircraft.
Right.
And then we started flying the Meridian and the TBM, and she said, wait a minute, where's the parachute? And I had to educate her that the turbine aircraft are roughly 13 times more reliable than those
100%.
engines.
Yeah, they only have like 12 moving parts versus like 145 in a piston, you know.
And they're all going the same direction.
Yeah.
But even such, okay, I'll trust my family to a single engine turboprop, I'll do that. But to have that single engine turbine that now my family has developed trust for, and additionally caps, that parachute, I think it's huge.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, well, right now, Phil, let's turn your attention back to what you're doing to ATC, and we'll shoot the visual approach in Idaho Falls, man. Hey guys, it's been a lot of fun taking you on the short flight with me and Phil, and I'm excited to tell you that this plane is coming to market. This is 603 Alpha Papa, and it's coming to market exclusively at Mason Amelia Aircraft Sales and Acquisitions.
Yeah, so the great thing about this plane, you can come in right before your final approach fix at 170 knots, and you can just chop it down and dirty and get it lowered. But a lot of times when you're flying into Bravo, they want you to maintain 170 knots till your final approach fix.
Yeah, so you're able to keep it fast for the 7.3 behind you.
Oh yeah, I could have beaten him
for 81,
if he wanted, but they always get nervous about it and make you.
Yeah.
And usually when I'm about 2 miles out is when I do full flaps, because I don't like to crawl to the runway. My thought process is always about 2 miles to the runway, then I'll slow it down.
Yep.
And that just comes with time. I mean, because you could be 95 knots coming in on an approach.
500.
But it would take you forever, you know? You
Right.
feel like you're in a 182.
Right. Another thing, if you did lose an engine, you want to give yourself an opportunity to not be completely dirty.
Right, exactly. So I like to have it coming in a little hot in case I need to have some speed to burn off. And then right about here is where I'll slow it down, you know, to...
Yeah, this is a speed. I could come in a little fast on an SR-22 and be here right around 90.
Well, that's the thing. They make this so you're like an SR-22 on the same numbers, you know. These land a little flatter than normal.
Stall.
Nicely done.
Vision Jet 3 Alpha Papa, turn right, Alpha 3, taxi parking via Alpha Delta, remain this frequency.
Alpha 3, Alpha Delta to parking, remain on frequency, 3 Alpha Papa.
Well guys, thanks for coming along with me and Phil on this cool little ride. I'm very excited to share that this plane 603 Alpha Papa is coming to market exclusively at my brokerage, Mason Amelia Aircraft Sales and Acquisitions. The highlights of this plane, it's a 2018 SF50, it's a G1, and it has the Elite package. That means it has all US domestic features. So the Elite, it has the Enhanced Awareness package, the Pro Pilot, the connectivity, the productivity and experience, and it also has the premium luxury aesthetics as well. This plane is absolutely loaded, and what's really nice for a new owner of a jet, this plane is going to be recharged with a full year, 150 hours of JetStream, and we're doing that as a condition of the sale. So I hope to hear from you soon and tell you more about this great plane.